My best friend, Chloe, after contracting genital warts, refused treatment. Instead, she frantically scratched at her worsening sores, determined to become an internet celebrity. I warned her that the longer she delayed, the more damage it would do to her body, even showing her documents about severe HPV cases. Only then did Chloe abandon her idea and rush to the hospital to cure her disgusting illness. But later, a couple became infamous because of their genital warts, earning millions. Chloe felt wronged, believing I had ruined her chance at wealth. "It's all your fault. You stinking bitch, you told me to get treated because you were jealous of me. I should have been the one to become famous overnight." She deliberately washed her bacteria-ridden clothes with mine, causing me to contract genital warts as well, leading to my body being covered in sores until I died. Reborn, I returned to the exact day my best friend was infected with genital warts. This time, I will fulfill her dream of becoming an internet sensation. "Mia, it feels a bit itchy down there. Could you come and take a look for me?" In her room, Chloe stood with her legs tightly pressed together, peeking from behind the door, her face an embarrassed plea for help. Not long before, she had just had a deep interaction with several men. Watching those men pull up their pants and leave with satisfied expressions, a familiar feeling washed over me. Could I have been reborn? To confirm my suspicion, I quickly pulled up my sleeves and pant legs. My arms and calves were smooth, free of those disgusting little bumps. In other words, I was not yet infected. Everything could still change. I was both thrilled and trembled with uncontrollable rage. In my previous life, Chloe had harmed me so terribly. This time, I would definitely get my revenge. But before I could even think, Chloe lost her patience. "Mia, I'm calling you. What are you dawdling for? What's growing on me? Hurry up and come here." She gestured with a wink, occasionally scratching herself, looking very uncomfortable. I knew perfectly well that she had indeed contracted genital warts, just like in my previous life. To avoid infection, I pretended to cough twice. "Wait a moment. I think I'm getting a cold. I feel a bit unwell. Let me put on a mask and then I'll come." Chloe frowned in disgust when she heard this. "Well, hurry up, don't get me sick." With that, she quickly went back to her room, using her phone to examine herself. When I finally put on my mask and gloves, she was spreading her legs, her genital warts fully exposed to the air. Because she had scratched them a few times, the surface was slightly oozing pus, emitting a foul odor. But the symptoms were still very mild. A quick trip to the hospital for treatment would have cured her rapidly. But this time, I wouldn't advise her. In my previous life, through scientific knowledge, I knew these were symptoms of genital warts, but Chloe, upon hearing this, was not afraid at all. Instead, she was excited. "Are you talking about that popular genital wart disease online? Oh my God, this is a manifestation of my love for men, not something scary. Besides, I heard some internet sensations also have genital warts. How fashionable. I've decided I'm going to be a genital wart internet sensation too." With that, she scratched even harder, letting the wounds worsen. As her best friend, I really couldn't bear to watch. I advised her that the longer this disease dragged on, the harder it would be to cure completely. She should go to the hospital quickly, otherwise, it wouldn't just spread all over her body, but would also recur with inflammation and ulcers, which was terrifying and incurable later on. I even collected many related medical records and documents about genital warts to show her. Seeing those disgusting images, Chloe got a little scared, so she didn't dare to delay any longer and quickly ran to the hospital for treatment. Not long after, her disgusting illness was cured. She even gave up her habit of frequenting bars and found an honest man to marry. Everything was going smoothly, but unexpectedly, a couple later became internet famous for their genital warts. They earned millions from a single live stream. Chloe felt wronged again. She became dissatisfied with her current life, believing that I had ruined her chance to become an internet sensation. To get revenge, she deliberately washed her old, dirty underwear with my clothes, causing me to accidentally contract genital warts. She even intentionally filmed a video and uploaded it online, claiming that I had promiscuous relationships, which led to me contracting genital warts, and that I didn't proactively inform everyone because I wanted to take revenge on society. In an instant, I was ostracized by everyone, not only losing my job but also being subjected to all kinds of insults and curses from netizens. I didn't even dare to go to the hospital, crying at home all day, and eventually died, covered in sores. Chloe, on the other hand, gained considerable attention and a bit of fame for exposing me. If she wanted fame so badly, to be an internet sensation, how could I not fulfill her wish in this life? So this time, after seeing the genital warts between her legs, I deliberately scratched my head, pretending not to know what they were. Itchy? It doesn't look too serious, probably nothing. If you're worried, you can go to the hospital to check. Chloe, of course, didn't want to waste money on something she considered trivial. She scratched a few more times and pulled up her pants. I'm not going to the hospital, it's not a big deal. Just consider it proof of my love for men, showing how attractive I am. Those ugly women don't have such good fortune as me. I quickly agreed with her, saying she made a lot of sense. Just like that, days passed, and Chloe continued to live her flamboyant life. I had originally planned to find an opportunity to move out and not share an apartment with her anymore, but thinking about not having seen her tragic end yet, I had to suppress the urge. I could only spray disinfectant in my room every day, wear a mask, and continue to observe. Sure enough, not long after, her symptoms worsened. Originally, it was just a small spot in a critical area, but now it had spread to her arms, and even her neck was starting to show signs of growth. Chloe scratched incessantly, her entire body bleeding from the scratching, yet she seemed to feel nothing. This time, she started to panic, yelling that she needed to go to the hospital. I rely on my face to make a living. What if this disgusting thing grows on my face too? Who would want to talk to me at the bar anymore? Seeing her about to pack up and leave, I quickly seized the opportunity to play the video of the genital wart couple. I pretended to be surprised and called her back. Hey, wait, Chloe, look at this. These two seem to have something similar to you. They call it genital warts. Their videos get so many likes. Can you really become an internet sensation like this? Hearing the words, internet sensation, Chloe's steps halted. She snatched my phone. After comparing carefully for a few minutes, a triumphant expression suddenly appeared on her face. This is great. It's like heaven sent me food. These two are so ugly, and they can be internet sensations. Then I can too. It's decided I'll start making videos today. With that, she eagerly began preparations. Watching Chloe quickly order a phone stand and lighting equipment, looking as if she was about to become famous, I couldn't help but pretend to offer a few words of advice. That might not be such a good idea. Not everyone can be an internet sensation. Besides, didn't you say you wanted to go to the hospital earlier? Are you not going to get treated? What if these genital warts get worse and worse? Chloe glared at me directly, her hands not stopping. As long as I can be an internet sensation, let it get serious. If I have money, what disease can't be cured? I think you just don't want to see me make a lot of money. You're afraid I'll become famous. I'm warning you, don't tell me what to do. Whatever I do is none of your business. Since she said that, I naturally couldn't stop her anymore. I could only shrug, showing respect and wishing her well, while also flattering her that she would definitely become famous. It must be said that Chloe's execution ability was very strong. As soon as the purchased equipment arrived, she started filming immediately. But after imitating the genital wart couple and filming a few videos, the results were not ideal. Lacking experience, she only knew how to writhe in front of the camera, occasionally exposing a bit of genital warts on her legs and arms, which was not enough to attract attention. Although her face was quite pretty, there were too many beautiful women online. Over time, her videos gradually dropped from thousands of views to a few hundred. The genital wart couple, on the other hand, became famous overnight thanks to their endless, shameless gimmicks. Chloe was both anxious and extremely envious, so she came to me, wanting me to teach her how to manage an account. Mia, isn't your job in operations? My appearance is no worse than theirs. Why isn't the platform pushing traffic to me? I don't care. We're best friends, you have to help me. If I become famous later, you'll benefit too, won't you? I was speechless. I wondered who had said earlier not to tell her what to do, that it was none of my business. But I didn't say that out loud. Instead, I raised an eyebrow, looking at Chloe with a mysterious expression. As long as you become famous, are you willing to pay any price? Chloe nodded without hesitation, saying, Quick, tell me, I'll agree to anything. I told her, actually, the essence of becoming famous quickly lies in gimmicks. Although you filmed many videos, you lack the gimmicks that the genital wart couple uses. They scratch their scalps while eating in a restaurant, which is utterly disgusting. That's a gimmick. And they shop online without wearing underwear, trying on clothes and then returning them within 3 days for no reason, which is even more shameless. That's also a kind of gimmick. Chloe was stunned by my words, feeling that it made a lot of sense. so she immediately packed her things, ready to find a noodle shop to try it out. I, meanwhile, curled my lips, waiting to watch the show. At the noodle shop, Chloe ordered a supersized bowl of ramen, then aggressively held up her phone. This time, she directly chose to livestream, shaking dandruff frantically into her bowl of noodles, muttering, "I've got genital warts recently, my head is so itchy. I'll scratch first before eating noodles." Very quickly, her dandruff fell like snow into the bowl, utterly disgusting. The number of viewers in the livestream room gradually increased from the initial scattered few, reaching nearly 100 viewers, but most of them were cursing her for being disgusting and shameless. Chloe saw that it was effective, becoming even more smug. She directly picked up her chopsticks and took a big bite. "So delicious. It's even better with seasoning. I wonder which lucky person will get to eat my bowl next time." With that, she deliberately showed an evil smile. The comments instantly filled with the two words, "disgusting." At this moment, I waved to Chloe. "Chloe, do you want to become even more famous?" Chloe, her mind muddled by the attention, frantically shook my arm. "Yes, yes, how? Tell me quickly." I gave her a brilliant smile, saying enigmatically, "You don't need to do anything, just let me do it." With that, I suddenly stood up and shouted loudly in front of everyone in the noodle shop. "Everyone, be careful. This person has genital warts. She just put dandruff in the noodles. Anyone who comes into close contact with her will be infected immediately." In an instant, the diners were all startled, hastily backing away 4 or 5 meters. Chloe hadn't even reacted yet, and there was not a single person around her. Everyone looked at her with complex expressions, holding their bowls and pointing. "Having that disgusting disease and still coming out to harm people, aren't you ashamed? She really doesn't know how to behave." I already felt something was off about her earlier. I didn't expect her to have a disease. "Everyone, look, her hands are covered in warts. How disgusting." Hearing everyone's discussions, Chloe was both ashamed and awkward. With one hand covering her face, she looked at me with an incredulous gaze. "Mia, do you know what you're doing?" I quietly took 2 steps back, quickly distancing myself from her. "Oh, Chloe, I told you to get treated if you were sick, but you wouldn't listen. Look, aren't you harming people now? Genital warts are highly contagious. How can the owner even run his business anymore?" Hearing me say that, everyone got goosebumps, hastily shouting for their money back. "Owner, I want to pay. How disgusting, there's a plague here. Who would dare to eat your noodles anymore?" The owner immediately got angry, grabbing a broom and hitting Chloe. "This girl, she goes out promiscuously, gets a dirty disease, and then comes out to harm people. We're small business owners, don't we deserve to live? Everyone, don't just stand there, teach her a lesson, otherwise she'll dare to go out and harm people again." The other diners, seeing this, also grabbed rolling pins and mops, aggressively surrounding Chloe. Just like that, Chloe was surrounded and beaten by everyone for half an hour, until her head bled. Only then did they stop. In addition, the restaurant owner completely emptied her savings to compensate for all the damages to the shop. After all the pots, pans, and woks had to be replaced, and Chloe was also responsible for the customers' noodle money. In one livestream session, she not only gained nothing but also lost several thousand. Crying, she ran to find me to settle the score. "Mia, what do you mean by this? You betrayed me, you clearly taught me to do that. Are you intentionally trying to harm me?" I disgustedly dodged her, then pretended to be innocent. "No, I'm helping you, why would you think that?" Chloe became even angrier, stomping her feet. "Do you take me for an idiot? I was beaten up like this, lost all my credibility. You say you're helping me with what?" I wasn't afraid at all. I grandly pointed at her phone. "What did I say? Gimmicks? Gimmicks are the most important, right? Exposing you in front of everyone just now was to create a gimmick to get you attention. Don't believe me? Check, you must have gained quite a few fans just now." Chloe wiped her tears, half believing me, and opened her phone. Indeed, she had gained over 1,000 followers. Especially when seeing the scene of her being beaten, netizens were ecstatic, some even generously sending gifts. Chloe cried and laughed, completely forgetting about being beaten earlier. "I'm famous, I'm really famous, haha, I knew it, I'm definitely not inferior to anyone. I'll work even harder from now on." I sarcastically scoffed. "Now you're happy, earlier you were falsely accusing me." Chloe changed her tune faster than flipping a book, hastily flattering me, praising me for doing the right thing. But just 1,000 followers couldn't satisfy her at all. After getting a taste of success, she started to imitate and stage a few more times. Nearby noodle shops and restaurants were all visited by her. I also cooperated very well with her. After all, seeing her getting beaten was satisfying. Very quickly, her account gained some notoriety, but those followers were just there for the gossip. Over time, everyone got bored. To create new gimmicks, Chloe came to me again, wanting me to build her up like the genital wart couple to become a big internet sensation. I pretended to be troubled, comparing their videos, then looked at Chloe from head to toe, shaking my head meaningfully. No, your image won't work. Chloe was unconvinced by my words, picking up a mirror to examine herself repeatedly. You're saying my image isn't as good as theirs? Are you kidding? I'm beautiful and have a perfect figure. I can talk to dozens of men in a bar in one night. She finished with a hint of pride in her voice. I silently rolled my eyes and lowered my voice, continuing, That's not what I mean. I mean your image isn't as disgusting as theirs. Look, this woman even has genital warts on her tongue. How exaggerated. No wonder they make money. I think you're still too naive. You're not cut out for this. Mocked by me like this, Chloe's competitive spirit was further stimulated. She held her phone, scrolling through the genital wart couples videos for a while, then suddenly made a decision. She wanted to make herself more disgusting. To worsen the symptoms of genital warts on her body, Chloe reverted to her promiscuous ways. In a fit of rage, she made appointments with 5 men on a dating app, specifically noting that she only wanted infected men, the more disgusting the better. I was so scared that I quickly found an excuse to escape, only daring to hide outside and secretly watch the surveillance camera, observing Chloe's movements. Sure enough, in the afternoon, several heavyweight characters arrived. Those men had pustules all over their hands and necks, and even their faces were covered in warts. Just looking at them, I could almost smell the pungent stench. Chloe, despite being mentally prepared, was still so disgusted she nearly fainted on the spot. To become famous, she vomited while trying to force out a charming smile, approaching those men. The men also gave sinister smiles, loosened their belts, and entered Chloe's room. By the time they came out, an entire afternoon had passed. The men were putting on their clothes and chatting idly. This little slut is truly depraved. I've never seen anyone with such a heavy taste. Yeah, she even licked the genital warts on my neck earlier, telling me to infect her more. I think she's crazy. Haha, let her be. At least we got to play for free. She's pretty too. It'd be a waste not to. Just like that, they teased each other, making plans to come back next time. Seeing that they had left, I put on my mask and returned home. Chloe staggered out, leaning on the wall, a long while later. After the battle, she didn't look too good. Her body was covered in genital wart pus, emitting a fishy odor. I pinched my nose, pretending to be concerned and advising her to take a shower quickly, but Chloe looked up with a smug expression. Shower? This is my hard-earned spoils of war from the whole afternoon. If I wash them clean now, how can I cross-infect myself again? How can more genital warts grow? I looked at her with a complex expression. She's crazy. This Chloe is truly crazy. She completely misunderstands the seriousness of genital warts. I wonder if she'll still be smiling like this when her entire body is covered in warts, oozing pus and blood. Finally, after a month of dedicated effort, Chloe's symptoms reached a severe stage. Small warts grew on her face and tongue, and her neck and arms were even more horrifying, with some areas starting to bleed. Looking at herself in the mirror, Chloe was also startled, but it still couldn't curb her desire to be an internet sensation. Because the situation was too serious, to avoid being recognized, she started wearing a mask while filming videos. And the things she did became increasingly shameless. She intentionally went without underwear, ran to clothing stores to try on clothes, then squeezed pus onto them. When eating out, she not only scratched her scalp, but also used her wart-covered tongue to lick the plates clean. Every time she filmed a video, Chloe would do close-ups of the genital warts on her tongue. By constantly latching onto the genital wart couple's notoriety, Chloe indeed became famous. Her video of licking plates garnered 10 million views, gaining countless fans overnight. Along with her skyrocketing fame came fierce curses online. The stores she visited were all exposed, forced to temporarily suspend business for rectification. Both store owners and consumers hated Chloe to the core, but because she always wore a mask, no one knew her true identity. Netizens in her comment section hurled all sorts of insults, saying that if this social cancer were caught, she should definitely be peeled apart. Chloe, after sobering up from the excitement of fame, began to panic a little. The moment she opened her mouth, a blast of foul breath assaulted my face. Mia, what do you think I should do now? They seem to hate me to death. I put on my antitoxic gloves, patted her shoulder, and comforted her. Don't be afraid. Infamous is still famous. Now that you're famous, you must seize this wave of traffic. Besides, if things go south, the genital wart couple is there to take the fall. That night, Chloe chose to directly confront and compete with the genital wart couple. The real show had just begun. Let the storm rage even more fiercely. To steal the genital wart couple's attention and earn more money, the first thing Chloe did after her livestream was to publicly declare war, stating that if anyone wanted her for advertising, they only needed to pay 50% of the commission compared to the genital wart couple. Very quickly, a pile of manufacturers of unknown products rushed to contact Chloe. Although she was disgusting, her popularity was undeniable. A single livestream also saw many curious netizens sending gifts and spending money. Chloe, having tasted success, pushed even further. The genital wart couple, seeing their popularity being stolen, were naturally unwilling to give up. They could only come up with even more bizarre and shameless stunts. Chloe filmed herself scratching dandruff. They filmed themselves picking at foot calluses, even going to a tattoo parlor to have a tattoo artist ink designs onto their genital warts. It was truly indescribably disgusting. The audience both wanted to vomit and couldn't help but watch, fearing that if they didn't pay attention to their actions one day, they might end up using something the couple had touched. After all, the genital wart couple and Chloe were nicknamed the Toxic King and Queen by netizens. Seeing the video competition becoming increasingly fierce, Chloe played a dangerous trick during a livestream. She opened a dating app and randomly selected lucky viewers to infect with genital warts. In an instant, the livestream exploded, with the number of viewers at times reaching 100,000. Seeing the unsuspecting men being invited to Chloe's home, netizens in the livestream room could only frantically send comments urging them to run. But they were completely enchanted by lust, paying no attention to the small phone screen. At first, I felt a little reluctant to watch and discreetly warned them, but the men who used dating apps weren't exactly good people, and no amount of persuasion would make them leave. I could only watch them die under the peony flower, even as ghosts they'd be debauched. As the livestream's popularity grew, Chloe became more daring. The genital wart couple had no choice but to follow suit, even engaging in threesomes. This time, even the platform couldn't ignore it anymore. Previously, they might have turned a blind eye for money, but now they issued a direct warning, prohibiting them from engaging in any more negative guiding behaviors. While the two sides were fighting to the death, I advised Chloe to attack the root cause. As long as the genital wart couple collapsed, she would be the sole deity in this field. Chloe quickly understood my meaning, gathering some fanatical followers from her fan group to report them en masse. Recently, regulations had already been tightened, and with the genital wart couple's account under special scrutiny, they were quickly reported and banned from live streaming for a month. This time, Chloe was incredibly smug, even openly provoking them during a live stream. Darlings, I think someone got their channel banned because they lacked ethics. From now on, when everyone watches live streams, make sure to recognize the real Chloe, okay? The genital wart couple, their source of income cut off and unable to defend themselves, must have been furious. While Chloe was reveling in her triumph, I secretly registered a secondary account and sent Chloe's address to the genital wart couple's account. Not long after, the message showed, "Read." Although the other party didn't reply to me, the next day their IP address changed, clearly indicating they were preparing to come find Chloe to settle the score. That afternoon, the door was pounded fiercely. "Little brat, get out here, get out here. You dare to do such shady things? If you're so brave, open the door." Don't be a coward. Chloe was completely unaware, still smugly live streaming and earning money, not realizing she was about to face misfortune. She held her phone and went to open the door. "Who is it? Don't disturb me. Do you know who I am? I'm a million-view internet sensation. I'm busy. Tens of thousands of people are watching my live stream." But when she saw two familiar faces at the door, she froze, turning to close the door. The genital wart couple, quick and agile, blocked the door. Behind them were over a dozen staff members, all glaring fiercely at Chloe. After all, internet sensations of their caliber had teams behind them. Chloe reporting their account also meant smashing their rice bowl. It would be strange if they didn't seek revenge. The genital wart man made the first move, pointing at Chloe's nose and cursing. You're the one who loves to eat genital warts, aren't you? Before, you copied my wife and me making videos and I didn't bother to settle the score with you. Now you even dare to report us, saying we lack ethics? Today, I'll show you what lack of ethics means." With that, he rolled up his sleeves, preparing to teach Chloe a lesson. Chloe was so scared she didn't know what to do. In a panic, she pushed me forward. "It's not me. This has nothing to do with me. The ideas weren't mine. It's all her. She did it." I was dumbfounded by her words. It wasn't until Chloe pulled out my identity verification information that I realized she had been using my real name to hide her own identity. No wonder Chloe insisted on wearing a mask. It was to prevent her identity from being exposed. The genital wart couple looked at the information on the ID card, then compared it to my face for a moment and charged directly at me. These two, covered in warts, were truly terrifying. Thinking about genital warts, I suddenly reacted. I didn't have genital warts on me at all. It was useless for this fool to try and implicate me. Seizing the opportunity, I forcefully tore Chloe's sleeve. Very quickly, her skin, covered in genital warts and pustules, was exposed. The genital wart couple looked at each other with some suspicion. Fearing they might be revenging the wrong person, I quickly shouted at them, "Haven't you figured it out yet? She's the real Chloe. You've been tricked." The genital wart couple quickly identified their target, directly ripping off Chloe's mask. This time, the genital warts on her face and tongue could no longer be hidden. Several people surrounded Chloe and beat her black and blue. The scene was incredibly spectacular. I took the opportunity to pick up Chloe's phone and live-streamed the whole thing for netizens to see. "Hello, everyone. We are now watching the showdown between the famous internet sensation, the genital wart couple, and Chloe, the genital wart eater. Don't miss it. If you find it exciting, hit the like button and send some small gifts." Very quickly, the number of viewers in the live stream room reached several 100,000. Comments unanimously said it was so satisfying. They only wished these two great, toxic kings would fight to the death. Just as Chloe was about to have her face clawed to shreds by the genital wart couple, I calmly called the police, preparing to net them all. Very quickly, the police arrived and arrested the entire genital wart couples group. These two had been running wild for years, harming quite a few people. Previously, they used gimmicks online to attract views, with absolutely no limits. Netizens had long hated them, only wishing they would be caught soon. Among them were many innocent people who had been infected with genital warts and store owners who had reported them. But due to a lack of concrete evidence, it couldn't be proven that they intentionally spread the virus, so no case could be filed. This time, they were finally caught actively provoking trouble, their behavior extremely egregious, constituting a crime. Ultimately, the genital wart couple was sentenced to 5 years in prison for disturbing public order. Chloe, as the victim of this incident, had no actual criminal behavior. She was educated by the police and released, told not to do any more frivolous live streams that disturbed public order. Chloe promised sweetly, but her first action after leaving was still to livestream. But when she picked up her phone, her world seemed to crumble. Previously, she had always worn a mask and hidden herself very well. Those netizens could only gossip, not knowing who she was. But after this incident, her real face and home address were exposed by people, even making the front page, calling her morally corrupt. The store owners she had harmed and the male netizens who had been infected with genital warts all came directly to her door. Some demanded compensation, others demanded an explanation. Chloe was so scared she didn't dare to leave the house, let alone livestream. To prevent her from pushing me forward to take the blame again, this time I intentionally hid far away. Later, I heard that those people had directly taken axes to her door, cleared out her belongings, and taught Chloe a harsh lesson before leaving. The men she had dated were no exception. All of them had been infected with genital warts. They sued Chloe, demanding compensation for economic damages. Chloe was mentally and financially exhausted. The compensation payment seemed endless. Furious, she called me that night, demanding that I take responsibility for this. "It's all your fault. You must have leaked my address. Before, when I had genital warts, if you had told me to get treated, none of this would have happened. Now look, I've lost everything. You have to take responsibility." I scoffed coldly. She had brought this upon herself. I wasn't carrying that burden. "I advised you to go to the hospital before, didn't I? Who said they didn't need me to interfere? Who said that with money, no disease couldn't be cured? I haven't even settled the score with you yet. What did you mean by using my ID to verify your identity? Do you think I won't sue you?" Chloe was left speechless by my words, but her heavy breathing was enough to convey her rage. With her personality, there was no way she would just let it go. Sure enough, the next day Chloe proactively apologized to me, begging me to come back. "Mia, yesterday I lost my temper and spoke wrongly. I know you're the kindest to me. We're best friends, we shouldn't hold grudges overnight. I'm really scared here alone, can you stay with me?" Having gone through this in my previous life, the moment she opened her mouth, I knew what she was up to. She herself was facing a huge compensation bill. Running away wasn't even an option. How could she genuinely apologize to me? But since she had actively sought me out, I could only pretend ignorance and continue playing along. I deliberately equipped myself fully, making thorough preparations before returning to the rented house. Sure enough, Chloe had ill intentions. That night after showering, she wanted to play the old trick again, throwing all her clothes into the wash, even pretending to be enthusiastic about washing my underwear for me. "Mia, before, we used to take turns washing our clothes. Recently, you want to differentiate everything from me. Do you disgust me, or are you not willing to forgive me? This time I truly know my mistake. Let me wash your clothes as compensation, okay?" I was speechless, a smirk playing on my lips. Her motive was too obvious. Luckily, I had seen through her long ago and had already prepared an identical pair of underwear. This time, I used her own scheme against her, decisively handing all my clothes to Chloe. Chloe showed a triumphant expression, pulling out her own long-soaked underwear and washing them with mine. The next morning, she quickly dried the underwear and brought it to my room. After making sure I had put it on, she stopped pretending, laughing maniacally. "You've been tricked. You harmed me with genital warts, so don't even think about having peace. Now just wait for that place of yours to rot, do you know? Later I'll post about you online, tell everyone in your company that you've been having promiscuous relationships outside. Let's see how you live your life after this." Haha. Looking at Chloe's triumphant expression, I shrugged, speechless. "Do you really think I'd wear the underwear you gave me? Sorry, but this is a new one I bought. The one you gave me, I sent it express delivery to your mom in our hometown when you weren't looking for her to wear." Chloe's smile froze on her face, completely collapsing. "Who did you send it to my mom? Mia, how can you be so cruel? Are you even human?" She ignored me, calling on her phone as she frantically rushed out the door. "Hello, Mom. Did you receive the package? That underwear, absolutely do not wear it." Watching her figure disappear, I smirked and picked up that pair of underwear from the trash. Her mother had no grudge against me. I wouldn't be that immoral. I just wanted to make Chloe collapse a little. As for this toxic underwear, I had another use for it. That afternoon, Chloe was arrested by the police, charged with intentionally endangering public safety. Her provocative conversation with me earlier was all recorded by me. Coupled with that pair of underwear, it constituted irrefutable evidence for her crime. But even as she was being taken to prison, Chloe still didn't feel she was at fault, constantly cursing and swearing at me. "Mia, you won't die peacefully. You betrayed me, you're a fraud. What's wrong with me wanting to make money? What's wrong with me wanting to be an internet sensation? I relied on my own ability, you're a coward, a fraud." I helplessly shook my head. Wanting to make money is not wrong. Wanting to be an internet sensation is not wrong. But her excessive greed, endangering innocent people, that is a crime. Ultimately, Chloe was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and moreover, she was imprisoned with the genital wart couple. She would suffer even more later. After Chloe was arrested, her account was also banned. The platform began to strengthen supervision, no longer allowing any attention-seeking behavior that endangered public safety. Since both toxic kings were arrested, netizens were buzzing with discussions, wondering which righteous person had done this good deed. I had to seize this wave of traffic. I took the opportunity to create my own new account, telling stories while educating everyone about the harms of genital warts. I gained some popularity, and most of the money I earned was donated to innocent people who had been infected, keeping a small portion for myself, occasionally traveling and relaxing to forget the past. Later, I heard that Chloe had good behavior in prison and was released early. She changed her name and returned to her hometown, wanting to find an honest man to marry, but because the genital warts on her body kept recurring and wouldn't heal no matter what treatment she tried, no one wanted to marry her. Even her parents were disgusted by her dirty illness and kicked her out of the house, which can be seen as paying a heavy price for her self-destructive path.